The Protestant Reformation began an attempt to reform the Roman Catholic Church. Protestantism originated from the ideas of several theologians starting in the 12th century. Although there could have been earlier cases, there is no surviving evidence of. However, these ideas were a subject to persecution by the Roman Catholic Church, and thus were kept isolated or effectively eradicated up to the 16th century. One of the early Protestant reformers was John Wycliffe, a theologian and an early proponent of reform in the 14th century. He influenced Jan Hus, a Czech priest from Prague, who in turn influenced German Martin Luther, who sparked the Protestant Reformation. Martin Luther wrote 95 Theses on the sale of indulgences in 1517. At the same time, a movement began in Switzerland under the leadership of Huldrych Zwingli. The political separation of the Church of England from Rome under Henry VIII brought England alongside the broad Reformed movement. The Scottish Reformation of 1560 decisively shaped the Church of Scotland. Following the excommunication of Luther, the Pope condemned the Reformation and its followers. The work and writings of John Calvin helped establish a loose consensus among various groups in Switzerland, Scotland, Hungary, Germany and elsewhere. In the course of this religious upheaval, the German Peasants' War of 1524 to 1525 swept through Bavaria, Thuringia and Swabia. The confessional division of the states of the Holy Roman Empire eventually erupted in the 30 Years' War of 1618 to 1648, leaving the agglomeration severely weakened. The success of the Counter-Reformation on the continent and the growth of a Puritan party dedicated to further Protestant reform polarized the Elizabethan Age. Although it was not until the Civil War of the 1640s that England underwent religious strife comparable to that which its neighbors had suffered some generations before. The Great Awakenings were periods of rapid and dramatic religious revival in American religious history, from the 1730s to the mid-19th century. The result was a multitude of strong Protestant denominations, many quite new. In the 20th century, Protestantism, especially in the United States, was becoming increasingly fragmented. Both liberal and conservative splinter groups arose, as well as a general secularization of Western society. Notable developments in the 20th century of U.S. Protestantism include the rise of Pentecostalism, Christian fundamentalism and evangelicalism. While these movements spilled over to Europe to a limited degree, the development of Protestantism in Europe was more dominated by secularization, leading to an increasingly post-Christian Europe.